Okay, welcome you guys. I gave Keisha the link, so hopefully she'll be over here in a second. What did you think about this week, Trish?
I thought it was really good. I cried today.
Oh my God, yeah, that had to be extremely emotional.
Mm-hmm. When you see a scene like that, and if you've lost your dad, all you want is just one more hug.
Yeah, that whole thing. I saw a lot of comments where people were talking about how emotional that they have gotten
Mm-hmm.
watching this particular episode.
I'm right there with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. All right, hopefully the notification. Okay, yeah. Hey, Nina. Hey, Katie Cat, Monique, Shabrita, Shanda. Yeah, everybody's slowly coming in. I think the notification just went out. So, okay. All right, now I know Keisha got to be around here somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Okay, yeah, she got the link. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So, welcome you guys to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where Keisha, myself, and Trish will be recapping The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of December 4th through the 8th. Can you believe we're at the end of the year already?
No, it's
Girl,
impossible, but yet here we are.
girl, time. There's Keish.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
Well, you sound
hey,
better than
hey.
last week.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Has the coughing kind of subsided a little bit?
Only a little bit. I finally went to the doctor today, and I have a sinus infection, so I have real medicine instead of the over the counter stuff I've been uh, taking for the past 2 months.
2 months? Has it been two
No.
months?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, girl.
Man, that can wreak havoc with your system. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It's my fault. I'm not. I don't typically go to the doctor for things that I think are just like a cold or the flu. So I should have went to the doctor a long time ago. I just don't like it.
I get it.
Oh my goodness. I was just asking Trish about what she thought about this particular week, and she was talking about how emotional today's episode was.
hmm
Yeah, so I know how you feel about this storyline, so.
Yeah, but you know what? Today did kind of it got to me with the little side conversations that he was having with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They were really sweet. The things that he was saying. This is what I wanted the whole time, and I feel like if people knew, they could have had these conversations a long time ago instead of him hiding it and pretending like everything is okay. And even now, they're still not really like full conversations because they still have to act like they don't know what's going on.
Oh
So,
yeah, that is true. That is
yeah.
true. They still got to play it off.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to jump into The Young and the Restless for this past week so we can break down these storylines. All right, so for the week of the 4th to the 8th, hold on, let me see. Okay, that's for Tuesday. Okay, so Phyllis catches Danny and Christine kissing while Cole and Victoria wonder if Claire is their daughter. After a disturbing phone call, Nikki take a drink while Victoria and Cole get Claire to agree to a DNA test. After Nikki's AA meeting, she and Victor come to conclusion about Jordan, who also checks into General City Motel. Jill asks Mamie to work with her against Tucker. Nate is welcomed back into Chancellor Winters. And Danny romances Christine. Phyllis is feeling her karma. And Tucker looks for a way to kick Ashley out of Glissade. Alrighty. So what storyline y'all want to start with first?
Oh, did Keisha fall off?
Yeah, she'll probably pop back in. She might have had a little coughing episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. It just comes on whenever it wants to.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Should we cover this whole Ashley Tucker thing, or?
You know what? Let's get the little one out of the way, which is this thing with Nate.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, can you believe they're letting him come back?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, why not? I kind of. I mean, otherwise he'll be pigeonholed as a character. So I mean, at some point they gotta do something with him, else he's gonna be floating around town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the jobless and the aimless.
Exactly. And I mean, a lot of the other, characters, there's been, yep, they fall, they get up, boom, they got a job. I mean, even Phyllis, who
Cancer
has,
for 185.
yeah, she on chance number 185, and now she's out of jail, and she's working over at Chancellor Winters with her son. So,
Yeah.
and she broke her kid's heart. I did not like that storyline whatsoever.
Did
Plain
not.
dead.
No. That
So,
was so wrong.
yeah, I mean, they all have done something, and in the soap world, and I think I think I heard Keisha say this week too. Keisha, we was talking, she was wondering about Nate getting another chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying how you were saying about the whole situation of, if they, in the real world, it could be different, but with him in the soap world, they'll end up pigeonholing him. Character have nowhere to go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even if they decided to send him back to the hospital and to be a doctor in some capacity, when he was doing that before, we never really saw Nate that much. He had small little side storylines all the time that weren't like full-fledged storylines, and without his family, like there's nowhere for him to go unless they have him team up with Tucker and Audra and put him in another role where he's going to be even further ostracized from his family. So I don't know. I was saying earlier this week, I feel like for that family, there's really only 3 of them on screen. I mean, Mamie is here right now, but I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, is she going to be a long-term character from now?
Here's the other thing, Keish. I mean, Crystal Khalil, we saw her exit for her maternity leave this week, too.
So to me, that family is too small for them to have one person be on the outs for an extended period of time. Like, this has been going on between them for the last few years, because it kind of kicked off with Elaine and Nate. Yep. Yeah, sleeping together, and they kind of healed a little bit from that, but then he started working with them, and it went downhill from there. So like, none of the other families have to deal with this. They get mad at each other, and then everything is all good, within 6 months or whatever. So I don't know. It would be different if the family was bigger and they had more characters to pull from, and maybe a couple of people are on Nate's side and the others are on Devon's side, but it's 3 of them.
Yeah, so that's true.
Yeah, go ahead, Trish.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that I always wanted to see more of Nate. I just wish they would have done something differently. So now maybe we have a chance to have them do something differently. I hope they don't do like they've done with Adam and just do the same thing over and over and over again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I would even be okay with, like, if they had even, like, the first round of them working together, I would have even been okay with Nate and Devon, bumpy heads here and there. Kind of like how Jack and Billy do sometimes, but they still, they bump heads, but it never gets to the extreme of they hate each other and they're basically at odds for a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, have them bump heads, but let it be minor. Like, there can be drama there, but it doesn't have to be so major to where Nate is ostracized from the family.
I agree.
Yeah, my issue about this whole thing this week is is Devon and Lily going to Nicholas and Victor. And it's like, Why? I mean, can't you? This is in-house business. This is also family business. They wouldn't come to you on the flip side if this was the case. Victor makes his own decision about his own family members. I think he
Exactly.
should have did the exact same thing, and Nate wouldn't even been in this situation because after I think about this situation, I think his doctor instincts kicked in. I really do. At first, I was like, let me look it out, but this man has been a doctor for a majority of his entire life. You gonna go and take the Hippocratic oath and spend 11 years in school to be a physician, and it just all go away because you have a career change.
Right.
So I honestly think that this man thought like, look, we need to get you some help. I mean, Victor played in this so deep that he told him, go get a list of doctors and we can talk about it. He turned around, got it all set up, and then the way that, of course, Adam and Victoria looked, oh, you're going to send my dad away. That was more of an emotional decision versus
Yeah.
a business decision, which he was saying, listen, we need to send you somewhere where you can get some help. They turn it around, making it look like, oh, you sending him off too. And I think, and I'm not calling it this, and I'm surprised Young and the Restless used this term, calling an institution a loony bin, because even Tucker said that this week. I'm like, okay. Um, I was surprised that they threw that in the script, but anyway,
There's a
um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, people are there because they need their help. What are you calling a loony
Right.
bin? Um, but the thing is that his doctor instincts kicked in. Now that whole thing that he did to his cousins last year or early this year, that was bad. I mean, you sold out your family's company to just to sleep with your girlfriend. That's a problem, okay? But this right here, this wouldn't even been an issue if Victor wasn't trying to deceive his family to make them think he was sick. At least for Eric, we knew something was wrong with him. But
Right.
Victor walked around freaking everybody out thinking that he was, going into dementia or something. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
There was.
it's like
Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. I mean, Nate already told them the story. Look, this man set up a whole plan and to deceive his entire family. My doctor instincts kicked in. I wanted to send him to get taken care of, and they like, yeah, well, let me go and ask Nick. We're gonna talk to the two people who you just got fired from. Right.
Right.
Go ahead, Keish.
There was never a moment where when all that was going on with Victor
Mm-hmm.
where it even seemed like Nate was trying to pull one over on him. Because I feel like if he was doing that, he would have went to Victoria earlier in the incident and let her know what was going on. And he did what Victor told him to do, which was keep it to yourself. I don't want my family to know. And that's what Nate did. Nate literally did everything that Victor asked him to do.
Yep.
Looked into the doctor's forum, looked into some places where he could go and get some help if he wanted to. And I think I said this several uh, episodes back. It's not like Nate himself could have taken Victor to this place and checked him in and made him stay there. So even if that was the plan that he had set up for Victor, Victor was still going to have to sign off on it, or Nikki was going to have to sign off on it as his wife. Nate couldn't do it for him. So it's not like he was going to be trapped there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they completely overreacted about the situation, and they were just looking for a reason for, which I don't understand this part. Like, just fire Nate. If you have to go through all this, and if Nate was really the reason why you did all this, just fire him. Like, this game was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Go ahead, Trish. You was gonna say something?
The whole thing to me is Victor did this.
Mm-hmm.
Victor did all of this. And everybody's, now he's been poisoned with, that other storyline. So we're just supposed to all forget that all that just happened and not even question it.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like everybody after this all came out, I don't feel like Victor got the smoke he deserved for doing what he did.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's just breezing through because now it's going to be all about the fact that they just survived Nikki being kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see Bree's comment in the comment section said people keep forgetting Victoria was the main one ready to commit her dad to the mental hospital in the beginning.
But again, even if Victoria wanted to do that or thought that that was the best way to go, because Victor himself is acting like, would it have been a mental, if they thought dementia was the issue, would it necessarily have been a mental hospital that he's committed to?
Absolutely not. It would never have been a mental hospital.
I didn't think so.
I think that's the issue that they had with it, was that it came out that it was a mental hospital, which to me, a mental hospital is for a mental illness that is not, what's the word I'm looking for? Manic, depressive, or,
schizophrenia.
Yes, yes. Whereas with Victor, dementia is actually, that would be a separate category.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where that would have made sense. And that kind of came out of left field at the very end.
I thought so too.
It was not well written. It was really poorly executed, and the whole thing was annoying to me.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I guess
go ahead.
I don't understand what Victor expected people to do. If he was presenting signs of distress when it came to his mental health or his health in general, did he just want everybody to sit around and say, "Oh, you're Victor Newman, you'll be okay"? You keep sitting in that CEO seat and running this company, even though you can't remember who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like,
just,
I don't understand what he expected them to do.
Exactly. Now, going back to this whole thing with Lily and Devon, I got to give kudos to Lily because Lily said, you know what? Second chances is something that should be done. And because she got a big one.
Big time.
So, I mean, I'm like, okay, I can't hold that against her because, I mean, she spent some time in prison, got out, made her way back, and then now she's the CEO over at Chancellor Winters. So she actually, and I mean, she was like, I would be a hypocrite in so many words to say, hey, I don't believe in second chances. She got a big one. Devon is the one that's on the fence, and I know that's going to continue into next week. If you saw the Friday preview, where he was talking to Abby, wondering if he has second thoughts. And I'm like, Devon, what's the problem now? So we're going to, and I hate that part of it, because I'm loving actually what's going on with the Abbotts right now. They're coming together to stand up against Tucker. I'm loving that right now. Even Jill is ready to throw her hat in the ring with them. Okay, and we know they had issues. The Newmans, they are, even though they got their issues, but what happened in Oregon, they fought to get up out of there and talk Claire into this, that, and the third. They working together. I want to see that with the Winters as well.
Me too. The only thing that I didn't agree with, or that I didn't like from Nate was, after they told him that they were going to give him a second chance, excuse me, to come back to the company.
Mm-hmm.
And then him and Devon were talking. I can't remember what Devon said to him, but Nate's response was something like, "Oh, so that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be like it was before, where you're gonna keep an eye on me and watch my every move and blah blah blah." And I'm like, Nate, you were pretty much begging them to come back to that company. I don't think now's the time for you to criticize Devon on how closely they're going to be watching you, considering what you did. Like, just take the win that you're coming back, and if you're not doing nothing wrong, then you don't have to worry about them keeping an eye on you.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're worried about Devon micromanaging you, then don't go back. Like, nobody's making you go back there.
Right.
Well, one thing he did switch up when that whole thing happened with Maddie and the school and the family and stuff. He was like, "Man, it kind of put things in perspective. You know what? I need to tone it down." So I guess the writing is sometimes it's like how you go from here to here, but we'll see. But because next week, like I said, they're gonna get into it. So
Yeah.
y'all got anything else on that storyline?
No.
No. Trish is like, no. All right, let's knock out Danny and Christine and Phyllis.
Mm.
Trish, what do you think about Christine and Danny?
So honestly, they're really cute. I thought Phyllis behaved well today. I know it was really hard for her. I was very proud of her. And it was funny. It was really funny to watch. Well, no, I mean, Christine and Danny have unfinished business, I guess. It's just, I just think it's just the way it is.
You can't come up with a word, huh?
I can't. I mean, it's kind of annoying. He's making this beautiful dinner for her, and you know that sauce is the bomb. So, you know, she brought the wine. They're dancing. What gets me is, how do you go into your son's apartment?
I was going to say the same thing, Trish. Go ahead.
Would you ever do that to your child, T?
Oh my God! Listen, there's no, and both of my kids got their own places. There's no way they just move in. They want me to come by and stay for a while, and then I invite my significant other and kick them out so I can fix them some food, but not them.
Y'all, if they wind up on that couch, I'm gonna be get a new couch. You're gonna have to trade it in. You're gonna have to just put it on the curb. I don't know. But I hope that they don't have an entire fest in the front room. It's his son's apartment. That's all I got.
Yeah, I was like, Danny, you barely just moved in there and you already kicking your son out for a date that you can bring a chick over. I mean,
I didn't even know he moved in because he asked, "Can I use your kitchen?"
I thought Danny gave him a room in his apartment or something. Remember?
I know they talked about it. I guess I didn't realize if that had already happened because I mean they made a scene out of Lucy getting into her room, but nothing with Danny. And I didn't even know if it was a 3-bedroom. I thought it was a 2. So I have no clue what's going on. But he made himself right at home.
Yeah, and Daniel was the one that had to leave his own apartment. It's like, dude, y'all always over at the GCAC or somewhere. Go. I don't know if I would want to have that type of romance in my kid's apartment.
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't think they would let me. They'd be like, "Ma, I know you can find somewhere else to go."
I mean, you wouldn't even ask, would you?
No.
Of course not. So what did you think of Phyllis talking to Michael, basically realizing that she didn't have anybody? I mean, really.
I kind of felt sorry for her.
I did too.
I haven't most of this year.
I know.
What about you,
I did
Keith?
feel sorry for her.
You didn't?
No, because everything that has happened to her this year has been of her own doing.
Yeah,
It
it is.
It has.
She does these things, and y'all know I like Phyllis.
I know. There's no lie here.
Yeah, she does these things, and then she wants to play the victim when everybody gets mad at her.
And today, I didn't really feel like she was, because this is one of the reasons I had actual real compassion for the character today, because I've been a little ticked off at her, but y'all know I love her, so I'm not going to really trash her too bad. But I did kind of feel like today, it wasn't in the, oh, poor me, poor pitiful me phase. I thought it was in the, oh my God, what have I done?
Right, this is where I am now.
That's what I thought. What did y'all think?
Yeah, that's what I just said. You know, this is where I am now. My kids is distant. I don't have a man. Nothing. It's just me and you and her and Michael. You know, and so I really, when they brought Michelle Stafford back, she's feisty, right? Always have been. I think that was a missed opportunity with the Jeremy Stark guy.
Yep.
For her faking her death and all of that crap, they could have put that in the trash, in my opinion, and
Mm-hmm.
gave her something else. If she went into business, she sold off her hotel all because of this Diane vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
And like she said today, Diane still ended up with somebody. Diane and Christine ended up with somebody. I have, so it's like he was the dude, nice looking guy. They could have had created a storyline dedicated to the two of them, maybe in
Yeah.
business together or something.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. Like, even when she showed up to the coffee house, when she approached Summer and Chelsea when they were talking,
Mm-hmm.
always has to have this uses this very condescending or sarcastic tone of voice when she's talking to people that she doesn't particularly care for. And it was just so unnecessary. I just, it's like, this is why people don't want to be around you, Phyllis.
Well, this is how I took it. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and finish, girl.
I was just going to say she could have easily walked up and just said hi, you know, gone in and got her coffee, let them finish whatever they were doing, and came back out when they were done, or something. It was just, I don't know. I just found it unnecessary. It's just very
Well,
childish. It's like she was being petty for no reason. Like, Chelsea ain't did nothing to you. She's
I
sitting there doing business with your daughter.
I don't think it had anything to do. Well, in my opinion, about maybe Chelsea per se. It was the way they acted when she came into the room. They just like be quiet. And so, of course, when you're gonna be like, okay, what's going on, and especially when it's your kid. So, I mean, honestly, I do that all because my kids, when they get together, they do that from time to time. They'll be talking about something. I come in the room and they don't want me to hear something. I'll be like, what are y'all talking about? It's kind of like an instinct, and Phyllis called it out. She was like, "You telling me it's nothing, but then when I walk in the room, y'all got tense and stopped talking immediately. So of course it's going to give you like, what's going on here?" So, I mean, and then of course she finally told it that she liked Chance, and Phyllis gave her some advice, hey, go for you what you want and all of that. But they had to go through all them hoops before she could actually get the story out of the daughter.
But that's the thing. If your daughter doesn't want to tell you, then don't force her and make her feel bad for not wanting to tell you. Because that's what Phyllis wants things. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Phyllis Phyllis wants them to forgive her on her timeline and not theirs. And she can't do that. So, and she wants things to go back to the way that they were before. And she can't expect that to happen. And I think that's what bothers me about it is she wants things to be the way she wants them to be when she wants them to be that way. And she's been forcing it ever since she came back. And it's like, you have to give them the space and time that they need to be able to possibly get back to that space that they were in before Phyllis faked her death. So when when she asked Summer and Summer, didn't want to tell her, she should have just left it alone instead of trying to force it out of her. Now, yeah, Summer did eventually tell her, but I don't like that. Maybe it's a personal thing with me because I don't like when people do that to me. If I told you nothing, then don't keep asking me about it because if I wanted to tell you, I would have told you.
Gotcha.
So I don't know.
I agree with you. When someone tells you no, it's no. It's when you keep pushing like that, it just it. I'm with you. I don't want people to do that to me. I'm not going to do that to people. I learned a long time ago that people will let you know what they want you to know when they want you to know it.
Yeah.
You can ask questions. If someone tells you they're not going to answer it, and they don't want to answer it, they don't want to talk about it. The needling you're right.
Well, let me ask you two of you this. Let me ask you these. Do you think, because I know you guys said when people do that, do you think it hit differently because it was her kid?
It hit Phyllis differently, yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis wants that person for her kid, but Phyllis ruined that relationship. So that's on her. She wants to be the one that Summer comes to with when she wants to talk about her crushes or any of that kind of stuff. I get that. And she was probably, a little bothered because she was comfortable talking to Chelsea about it and not her.
Well, yeah,
But again,
you know
Phyllis,
what? I would feel some kind of way about that too. I'm gonna be honest.
but that's Phyllis's fault.
I would
That's
be
her fault.
honest.
Summer didn't cause that. That Phyllis caused that.
Yep.
And
So.
She already knew Summer had a little crush on Chance. This wasn't her first time hearing about it.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
So I don't know. I can't feel bad for Phyllis in that regard because she brought all of this on herself, and she can't be mad at her daughter or at Daniel for not fully accepting her back into their lives the way it was before she faked her death.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yep.
should have thought about that before she did it.
Yep, that's true.
I think in those types of situations where something is absolutely so outlandish that the person did, I don't think it can ever actually go back to the way it was. I think it can only be, okay, this happened. We're going to acknowledge it. You get to a certain point where if you are going to go forward and you do decide you still want that person in your life, then you have to put that part off to one side and have reckoned with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to build a whole new foundation. And she's not allowing them time to even rope off the area where they want to put the foundation, much less get the foundation built. So she's jumping in too fast.
Yeah, I honestly
And I
think.
get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly think they did a disservice to Michelle coming in doing this whole storyline just sucked. And I mean, and they backed her in the corner that now you got a legacy character that pretty much is doing what? We don't see her at work. Her family is tiptoeing around her. And I mean, yes, like Key said, she brought this on herself the way that it was written. But it's like, okay, where are you gonna take Phyllis from here? What are you gonna do with it, writers? What are you gonna do with her?
And it
So
better be good.
yeah, I mean, y'all had this girl pining after Diane for the last what year, and then she brought up Diane again. I got kind of freaked out a little bit, like, oh, here we go again. But then
Right.
she was just talking about the fact that she ended up with Jack. But it's like, do something, get this girl a new storyline where she's not sulking in the corner. Let her find some business, bring a new man in town, have her on the straight and narrow, do something with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, the Phyllis character been around, what, gotta be like 3 decades almost?
Yep.
This is not, Audra is getting all kind of meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And I mean, material-wise.
She's beast.
I mean, Audra is in all different storylines. If she's not working at Newman, she's helping out trying to take down Jabot and then trying to get Nate and Tucker and Kyle. I mean, so if you're going to give a new character that much material, you got a legacy character on the screen that you brought back, and now she's in a corner.
Yeah, they screwed her with that.
They screwed her with that
storyline.
That was terrible. I mean, I know they wanted to do something big for the 50th anniversary back in March, but my goodness, at what expense? And I mean, she did well at the actual passing out and all this stuff, but it's like, okay, now what you gonna do with her?
Right.
Sucked.
Yep.
And then seeing her today, like, I think, who was it? Trish that was saying how it was more like, dang, this is where my life is now.
Yeah, so look what I've done
Mm-hmm.
to myself and everybody I love.
I mean, she's sitting in the corner by herself, texting everybody. Come have a drink with me. What are you doing? You want to hang out? Oh, my goodness.
No, nobody's coming.
Mm-mm.
And there was an accident. Michael showed up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's like they go through these little periods of time where Phyllis is, where she's cool, where she still does her little shenanigans here and there, but she's not, being all out ridiculous and over the top and just completely sabotaging herself. And then they take her through a period where she just totally sabotages herself. And I feel like with this period of time started from the moment she sabotaged her relationship with Nick for no reason.
I was going to go back to that exact point because they were fun together. They laughed all the time. They played video games. They would have a drink. They would goof off. They liked the same things. They were the same pace. They were like the right fit. I have always said that about Nick and Phyllis. She makes him fun and not just like, I mean, he's always good to look at. I mean, we're not stupid. But sometimes his characters, it's like, really? Duh. Yeah. I mean, come on.
It could be unbearable.
Yeah, a little bit. But she really brought out the fun. It's like, okay, there's not just a good looks, there's sizzle in there. I mean, there's, kind of brought that out of him. And I don't know. It just seems a little yawny now.
Exactly. I mean, and I just think they messed that up. Like you said, Jack ended up with Diane, even though Jack was playing cat and mouse with her. And then you move Nicholas over to that mess of a storyline that they had earlier this year between Adam and Sally. And then they're now trying to fix that this coming week, too. And then, it's like y'all could have just left Nick and Phyllis together for a while. Why not? Like you say, they were fun together. And one thing about Michelle Stafford is a gorgeous woman. Why just have her just sitting around sulking?
Every outfit she wears looks like it. I mean, it's just perfect.
Did you guys see that article that she did? I guess some people were attacking her on Instagram, saying how her entire body was like, surgically done and all this type of stuff. And she was like, absolutely not.
She has always had a great figure.
Always.
You've watched her from the first moment she came onto the scene. Her figure, she is absolutely no body fat. She has defined muscle. She eats extraordinarily healthily in her life. Of course she's going to look amazing and have a great figure.
Plus, she has her own natural skincare line. So her face, I think, because I subscribe to it, I get her notifications and stuff. And she got her own skincare line that keeps her skin around her neck and face and chest up to par. Stuff like that. So, it was her. Check out that article if you haven't seen it. It's pretty darn interesting, and I'll probably tag it. I started to do a video on it because she went in. She was like, how dare you guys come after me for something like that? I don't do that. And
you know what? Even if she had, who cares? If she's happy with herself and she likes herself and she gets up every day glad to look in the mirror, then, why do you have to be so miserable about it? Why don't you can't just be happy for her?
Exactly. So, yeah, hopefully, maybe she hit the bottom, and maybe the writers are going to try to bring her out. I don't know how. They'll give her a job or something, but there's like no extra. Wait a minute. There is a spoiler coming out next week that she's supposed to be giving Danny a very, what is it called? Hold on, I'll tell you in a second, because I saw it. Young and the Restless. Oh, there's a tempting invitation from Phyllis to Danny next Thursday. So I don't know. Are they going to try to put her in this triangle against Cricket? I don't know. But look like Danny is more interested in Cricket than me. So, in my opinion.
like Danny and Phyllis being friends. Because that annoys Christine, but I just don't see the chemistry there between Danny and Phyllis.
Yep. All right.
Christine's always fun.
Yeah.
You saw how annoyed she was when Danny mentioned something about how her and Phyllis both inspired him.
Right.
To write that song.
I cracked up. It's not all just about you, Cricket, or the
Right.
bug.
So, oh, the you silly. All right, let's move into what's the part I want to move into? Let's do the Newman thing because that was pretty much the first half of the week. Man, listen, it was funny to me that when she got that phone call and Jordan played burlesque music, not the fact that she played it in her past, but the fact that Nikki didn't know what that music was. I
Yeah,
instantly knew what that was when I heard it.
Right.
that was pretty funny.
Trish, you funny.
I'm like, woman, you know exactly what that is. You think we're supposed to be believing this?
Girl, I
Come
think
on
that
now.
song been around probably. What did the guy at the piano say it came out in what era? And it was way before the 1980s.
I thought he said.
1700s.
Did you say
I thought he said the.
1790s?
I thought he said the 30s.
The swing era, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So that song been around for almost 100 years. When I heard it, I'm like, no, she did not put that in the background. And then, Nikki was like, well, what is that? I've heard that music before. I'm like, girl, I think we all heard that music before.
In a scene
Yeah.
with you.
I mean, listen, I think I was watching the Josephine Baker movie, and I think maybe it was in one of those scenes back in the day too. I don't remember. I think so, but yeah. Anyway, so then here's the other thing. I mean, she is chug a lugging the vodka. She's
Yeah, that was,
done.
yeah.
I mean, she tried, but she taking the whole bottle to the head, and she really gonna get into it next week. I'm like, somebody got to help this girl. I'm surprised it's not a messing with her MS though.
I don't know how that works. Does alcohol it affects it?
Alcohol affects a lot of things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Livers, Oh man, I mean, and the fact that the alcohol was in her bloodstream, which that should have been
Deadly.
tough.
yeah.
And she was drunk.
I felt bad for her when she was at her little AA meeting
I know, right?
trying to explain what happened because I mean, really, it does sound like she was making excuses. She's like, it's an outrageous sounding story. I got kidnapped and they put it in an IV and basically forced me to drink. So people are probably sitting around like this chick. She just
Yeah.
can't. She just can't admit that she fell off the wagon. But it's like that actually happened.
Yeah,
I
because
felt
when
bad
she
for her.
was telling it, when she broke it, even though we saw what happened, the way she told it to the AA meeting, it was like, that does not sound believable at
Right,
all.
right.
And, they
But
had
then
to. Go
I
ahead.
did like though how she said, but the second time was me, the third time was me, the fourth time was me. So
Mm-hmm.
she took accountability for going back for the drinks that she poured herself.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah, I
did.
agree with that.
I just don't like that storyline at all.
Mm-mm. They did the same thing with Brooke when Sheila Carter switched that bottle,
That made me mad too. I don't like that.
throwing folks off of their sobriety.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, um, the other thing is this situation where Victoria and Cole went to see Claire. Now, at first, when they got back to General City and was at the ranch, Victor was like, are both of them going to jail? We're done with this. But Cole was like, no, I think she was manipulated by Aunt Jordan. Do you two think that she was 110% manipulated?
The way Aunt Jordan was acting, I would definitely believe that.
What about you, Trish?
Well, yeah, I mean, if she took her when she was an infant and that's all she's ever been told, then yes, she was manipulated. And at the same time, as a grown adult, would you not know that it was a bad idea to kidnap someone and hold them hostage and then lure other people there to off them?
That's a good point. Because whether or not they were your parents and they abandoned you, you still know that that's against the law to kidnap
You have
somebody.
to know better. Like, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a little confused, although the world confuses me quite often in real life. But yeah, this story it's wild. I mean, I would say you can't make this stuff up, but they did.
You're so funny. Listen, I'm telling you that's a good point because I mean you could technically say, man, the girl was groomed from infancy all the way up to believe this entire story, and then find out that your auntie swapped you out.
Right.
However, there is also the other side of morality to know that you don't go around just kidnapping people.
You do not. Please, nobody out there ever do this. It'll get better, I promise.
What you think, kid? What you got, Keish, on this? Anything?
Nothing really. I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying Aunt Jordan. So
Yeah.
when she walked into that, I think that might have been, was that last week when she walked into the hotel room and
That hat.
took that hat off?
No, that was this week.
Was it this week?
And hey, don't that room look like the same room that Jeremy Stark was unalived in?
Yeah, she better watch her back, right?
Right.
That room has a bad history.
I know, right?
Wasn't it also the same room that Sharon and Adam were in?
Yep.
Your favorite scene.
Yep. If the walls could talk.
We're lucky the walls are standing.
You shut up, Trey.
Yeah, I'm totally looking forward to more Aunt Jordan shenanigans.
Yeah, I wonder how long she's gonna be sticking around.
I
don't know.
That actress. She just always dives headfirst into her parts.
Yeah,
I wish that they would have written her in a way to where it was possible for her to stick around longer, because the stuff she's doing right now
it's not sustainable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this out here, and I'm gonna get your answer, Trish. But
Okay,
Keish, myself, and Bree and Jay have already answered this question.
Okay. I'm getting set up right now, aren't I? Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Who and Keisha already laughing. Who's worse, Sheila Carter or Aunt Jordan?
Sheila Carter.
Oh, okay. All right.
What was I out of the majority?
No, you were part of the majority. They were saying it was Sheila Carter. But in the comment section, if you think Aunt Jordan is the worst, think about everything that now I know that Sheila got 30 years on her resume, and Aunt Jordan got 30 days on her resume, but she almost took down the whole Newman family. But drop a 1 in the chat if you think Jordan is worse, or drop a 2 in the chat if you think Sheila Carter is worse. So I know it's we're a little bit ahead of what YouTube is showing. So drop a 1 Jordan, drop a 2 Sheila Carter. So let me know your thoughts. Now, go ahead, Trish.
I was just going to say, I just looked back on the whole releasing the bees scene and knowing about just the horrors of the anaphylactic shock that he would have gone into, and begging to be saved only to have someone watch the life bleed out of him. I just, Sheila's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow, we got a bunch of 2s out there. We got Bree said no contest. You wasn't supposed to vote. Bree, you already voted in the We got a couple of 1s in there. Vita and Monique says Jordan, but it's a lot of 2s in there. I mean, the other thing is, like you said, Sheila Carter got a longer history of work on 2 shows. Oh, wait a minute. Belinda said Jordan is just getting started.
Well, that's true.
And she put a 1 down there. I mean, next week the girl is bringing vials of more DRUGS's
Oh yeah, okay.
and knives. Yeah.
Yes.
So Jordan is
Jordan is gonna
Jordan
have
trying to do
to.
damage.
Jordan is gonna have to include the Abbotts and the Winters in her shenanigans because Sheila has multiple families that she's terrorized.
That's
Multiple
true.
families and individual people
Across the country.
Right.
I don't know. She was just so. I guess her callous ways. I mean, okay. As far as you can remember how when we saw last week, they drunk that water. She had this big old smile on her face, and she was like, "I'm going to enjoy watching you die." I mean, there was nothing there. There was no, Sheila wants love so bad, she'll do whatever it takes to get it. But when it comes to Jordan, Jordan is just cold. It's like, I don't care nothing about that. I'm just done. I can't stand y'all.
No.
What you say?
I said no. There is no amount of excuse in the world that will excuse anything that Sheila has done. Because we've also seen Sheila do things and smile about it.
Yeah, when she set the house ablaze with her mom and Lauren tied up. She laughed on her way out the door.
David Hall says Sheila and Jordan should come together for a battle like King Kong and the red orangutan in the upcoming movie. I wouldn't mind seeing the two of them work together. Could you imagine?
Oh, the mayhem.
The chaos. Oh my goodness. All she had to
do. His money in there.
Girl, listen, if Sheila Carter and Jordan came together, and maybe even throw Tucker in there too.
Tucker wouldn't be able to hang with him.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Tucker would just be back trying to set up the financial part or whatever scheme that they come up with.
Tucker would look at both of them and say, you know what? I'm going to take my money and I'm just going to go do something else with it because two of you are insane.
You can have it.
Right.
Oh, so you think Jordan and Sheila Carter are the only ones that can probably stop Tucker at this point? Maybe the Abbotts need to go and recruit them then.
Tucker might be ruthless. He might be a ruthless businessman, but I've never felt like Tucker was a murderer or somebody that physically harmed.
Okay, well, let me ask you two this. Do you think Audra can run with those two?
No.
Really?
No, they chew her up and spit her out.
Wow.
They leave actual bodies. Audra's a paperwork demon. The other two are actual.
Wait a minute. Did you say paperwork?
A paperwork demon, yeah. Yeah, in business, I mean, it's all white collar. She's not going to get her hands dirty like that.
I mean, the girl is sneaky, though.
Huh?
She what?
She's sneaky.
Oh, yeah, she's sneaky.
Sneaky
might
is one thing.
Someone else to do it for her, but she's not getting her hands dirty.
Sneaky is one thing. Being a murderer is something completely different.
Another level.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, is there anybody... How many? We really don't have a lot of villains, do we? Anymore?
No. David Campbell was the bad one on Y&R decades ago.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Remember him?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. He would have been in that category. But I think they even would have chewed him up and spit him out. Because,
I'm trying to think. I don't think we've had any recent villains besides these two, right? We can't even throw Ashlyn Locke or Jeremy Stark in there. Jeremy was just a guy who was out and overly ambitious trying to get money.
I mean, he tried to kill Phyllis, though.
Unalive?
He was kind of, MAFIA-ish.
Okay. Well, it would be interesting to see the two of them. Wait a minute. Hold on. Somebody said, how about Sheila, Jordan, and Liam?
Oh, no. Poor Liam. He didn't know what to do with himself.
He would be crying.
Are we going to leave mad letters under their windshield wiper on the windshield of their car?
Quinn.
No, Liam. No, we're not.
Oh, wait a minute. She said Quinn.
Quinn was a good one for. I mean, she's still not the level of Sheila, but I still thought her little shenanigans were pretty good back in the day.
Hers were more fun to watch, whereas the other two are like, oh my God, they're really actually trying to off people. Yeah. Whereas Quinn, I mean, she just reacted and shoved Deacon off that cliff. I don't think she actually thought about it. You know, it was horrible, of course, but I did laugh when it happened.
Bill has tried to unalive a few people.
Bill did.
Who? Yeah. Who you say? Oh, Bill. Oh, Bill. What would that look like?
He tried to throw Amber off that cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, you think Bill could run with Jordan?
I don't think he'd want to. Not after what he just went through with Sheila. Oh. I mean, you know.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got to get into this Abbott stuff.
I'm going to let y'all get into that because I'm confused as to what all was going on with him.
What's your question?
So, I don't know. Like, what are they trying to figure out with Tucker? Tucker is going after them. That's what him and Audra are trying to do.
I think they're trying to throw some stuff together because this whole thing with Glissade, I ain't heard nothing about Glissade until now. I thought it was called Ashley something else, the business, remember?
Mm-hmm. See what I mean? We all confused.
So, this is what happens when you have a bunch of people that have ideas with no leader or direction. Hey, maybe we could do this. Maybe we could do this. Maybe we could do that. Look, let's do all of it and we'll figure out how to pull it all together when it comes time to wrap it up. Because I still don't know if Kyle is going to be honest with his dad. Because, you know, him and Diane are the only ones that know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody else even knows that. Meanwhile, Diane's conspiring with the family and now with Jill against Tucker. So she's got an inside track with what Kyle's doing. I still have to believe there's something diabolically going on with Diane in the background. I just cannot. I cannot accept the fact that she is the dutiful wife. Something has to be going on. And yes, I am confused.
Well, I mean, here's my thing on it. Why are you leaving your son in the lion's den with Audra and Tucker when you got inside, like you just said, intel from Billy? Jill just dropped a bombshell. We hear Ashley still got her hand in a piece of this Glissade business, and they're trying to work together to do something. And I'm like, you going to leave your son out there to hang out to dry?
Yep.
Because she is overestimating how smart her son is.
Yes. By mountains and valleys alike.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Look at that. Rachel said Diane in capital letters. Diane cannot be trusted. Diane cannot be trusted. Diane cannot be trusted.
I feel the same way.
It's something, you know what, for a while I was like, I don't know, maybe they're trying to give her redemption, but the more it continues, her facial expression, she was the one that tried to talk them down from saying, well, maybe Tucker don't have anything. Maybe he's just playing games. And I'm like, what do you mean he don't have anything? So are you trying to render them defenseless? Now, the only reason that it changed is because Jill came in there and she dropped a bombshell about the fact of Tucker funneling money into that company. And then, of course, Diane had to take a step back because now that doesn't even make sense what she's talking about. But like you said, Trish, they're going 4 or 5 different ways on which plan to take. In the meantime, Kyle is sitting out there on an island by himself.
T?
Yeah, you there?
There you are. Okay. You were saying in the meantime?
I said that Kyle is sitting there by himself. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought there was something else coming. Okay. No, you're right. Yeah, he's just kind of hanging out there. And one of the other things too is Mamie wasn't invited to the Abbotts,
Mm-mm.
and they didn't wait for Ashley to talk about their plan.
Mm-mm.
So, are you really working together, or are you just trying to throw some things to see what's going to stick to the wall?
Yeah, I don't think they even know what to do. Because at one moment they said, well, let's expose him with the underage situation. And then they're like, well, no. And then Ashley come in and talking about, I decided not to buy. I'm going to keep my money into the company because he wants the company really bad. It's just all over the place. And I think that's what Keisha's talking about. It's just so confusing. It's so convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
So, what'd you say?
Okay, so I do have to ask you, when Tucker was at the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was when he was talking to Adam, did you see his face after he rolled his eyes? That look on his face, y'all, he is hysterical. That guy can act.
Who you talking about, Tucker?
Yes.
Yeah, he is hilarious. Trevor St. John.
He steals every scene he's in.
Wow.
He does.
Wow.
I just they would, I don't know, give him something else other than him. Excuse me. Trying to take over another company. I wish they would have they should have left him and Ashley together and just came up with a different storyline for them.
I really liked them together. They kind of screwed that up too.
Who you talking about,
Yeah.
Ashley and Tucker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they absolutely have chemistry.
Yep.
But he been screwing Audra. It's just like, oh my god. I mean, listen, and then Ashley keeps sniffing around him. I still think that girl got feelings for him.
She definitely does. Definitely does.
Yep. So I don't know. Hopefully they give us some clarity on what they're gonna do, what direction we're gonna take, because there's some stuff going on next week where Ashley strikes a deal with Tucker for whatever this means. Kyle and Audra have unfinished business. So it's several. This thing is continuously going on when it comes to this whole thing with Tucker McCall. But I mean, to me, I think Tucker is truly. Okay, let me ask you guys: do you think Tucker is truly trying to save the legacy strictly for Devon, or is he coming after the company for himself?
Yes.
I think he's doing it for Devon.
I think he's doing it for Devon. He just don't want Jill part of it.
Yeah.
I think he still harbors feelings for not, being in Catherine's life, and I think he's still mad about all of it.
I think I get the. I don't know. I feel like he is so desperate for Devon to accept him or love him or wants him to know that he really cares about him, that's why he's doing this. And I think he's doing it purely for him.
You think so?
I could be wrong, but
that's what I thought. Because I think he wanted. Well, he's coming after Jabot because of Ashley, but he was always saying that he want Devon and his grandson to have Chancellor as the legacy. But Trish is saying, nah, he wants to. You think he wants to run it too?
I think that he's a control freak that would, if he could, be just like Victor Newman.
Okay. Well,
I could be wrong too, but that's just what I see.
Yeah.
Or I think I see.
David Hall says that he thinks Diane is Tucker's secret weapon.
See, I've said that from day one. I'm right there with you. And again, we could be wrong, but they'll probably change the storyline up at least 50 times before we get to know.
Yeah, I like the fact because I like figuring out mysteries and puzzles. It's so convoluted that I'm trying to figure this out. But I don't want to get to the part where it's so confusing where it just doesn't make sense. And I think, Keisha, that's where you are.
Yeah. And it kind of like how it was with the Newmans, and all that checker playing that they were doing with the seats over at Newman and Newman Media. Mm-hmm. When they just kept going back and forth of who was going where and who was going to do what. And it's like, what are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Poor Kyle is just left out there by himself.
I don't know why I feel sorry for Kyle.
Yeah. But the part that his mama is leaving him out there to dry. I mean, him chasing after Audra, he's stupid. But this whole thing with Diane telling him, I just didn't think that was good advice for her to say, you know what, you're going to look like the hero. And, once you uncover what Tucker is doing, your dad is going to think that you're going to be this, that, and the third. And he's going to want to give you the position. And it's like, and now she know all of this because a lot has transpired since they put that together. And we have yet to see Diane fill Kyle in on any of it. He wasn't even in this meeting that we saw today or yesterday or whatever.
Nope.
Now, there's another part of this before this whole joining of everything. Jill was trying to steal Billy from Jabot so she can have more numbers over at Chancellor Winters so she wouldn't be over there by herself.
And you know what? Jill could have had Billy at Chancellor Winters if she would have hired him instead of Lily to be the CEO.
She didn't trust him, right?
She did not.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Yep. And then we saw at the time Lily wanted him to be the COO. And, him and Chelsea started talking.
Yeah, he walked out.
He walked out.
Podcast instead.
Yeah, that whole thing, that's what I'm saying, bad. Because they took him out of Chancellor. Chancellor Winters, put him in the podcast, that flopped, and then he still ended up with a COO position, but over at Jabot.
Mm-hmm. Which he said he did not ever want.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the writers don't think we remember things.
We remember almost all of it. And if one of us doesn't, the other one does. Or the listeners do.
Yeah, right. Somebody in the comment section, some of us, somebody knows something. And that whole transition did not make sense to me. Because he took a step back. He was struggling. Chelsea was struggling and all of this. And then, boom, he just switched up, fixed his suit, changed his hair, slicked it back. And now he's a COO over CEO over at Jabot.
Yeah. Fastest step ball change I've ever seen.
Exactly.
If you know, you know.
So, I kind of, do you think Jill is legitimately, or was she right about trying to gain numbers? Because Chance is the other person that she's trying to bring over. So she would have not only her son, but her grandson over there.
I don't think she's wrong. I mean, I understand why she's wanting to do it, but I mean, she can't force them to want to come over there and work.
Well, no, she sure can't. That's the truth. And also, what was their job going to be?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What's their title? What's their role and responsibility? And two, I mean, if Lily is the CEO of the Chancellor part and Devon's the CEO of the Winters part, wouldn't they need to be in the conversations? I mean, I realize that it is Jill's company, but that's your senior leadership. Why are you not having conversations with them? They talk to you about Nate.
Well, wait a minute.
Her being sneaky.
Hey, listen, and that's exactly why I was saying, why is Lily and Devon talking to everybody of what they gonna do with their business? Don't nobody talk to them?
Nope. Not even their supposed chairman of their company.
Yeah, but that's a good question though. Where's Chan supposed to go? What are you gonna do?
Head of security. I mean, what do you do?
You know, he didn't quit his whole job at the chief of police to do what over at Chancellor Winters?
Maybe he'll be Lily's COO.
See,
Okay.
all those skills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, because Nate is working over product development and implementation or something. I think they said it because he got all these ideas or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's not a COO or anything, but what does that mean? Well, you know what? Here's the interesting thing. I'm wondering with Crystal Khalil being on maternity leave now, and that leaves Nate and Devon there. The CEO is out. Who's going to fill those job duties? Is Devon going to take over both?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, he can't do. He don't work for the chancellor side of the house, so I wouldn't think that he would be able to take over Lily's duties.
Or they,
Listen, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
they
ahead.
could just say she's working remote while she's
Yeah.
taking care of her daughter.
While he's fighting fires.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting, very interesting exit strategy. Oh my God, the school is on fire. I gotta leave. Um, okay. Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go spend some time with Maddie and Charlie for a while," and yeah, they made a whole emergency out of it. And I'm thinking, like, Lily, what are you gonna do? They're gonna, like Daniel said, they're not gonna let you anywhere near that.
Mm-mm.
Right.
So I just thought that was weird on what they decided to use as Crystal's exit strategy.
Yeah, I don't know why they have such a hard time coming up with exit strategies for maternity leave. Like, it's not that difficult.
It can't be that hard.
Mm-mm.
Really,
Okay,
you pull to California to be near her because there's wildfires going on. Would it not make more sense for her to come to you?
right, have your daughter fly home.
Well, the daughter can't even get off the campus. She's blocked in from the inferno conflagration surrounding the campus.
Lord.
Okay, so let's look at these exit strategies. Jacqueline's exit strategy with Steffi was she got away from Sheila Carter and then came back and said, "I'm not afraid of her."
Mm-hmm.
Then Mariah, Cameron Grimes, she just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Oh, and then of course, Chelsea, Melissa Claire Egan, Connor decides that he want to go stay with grandma and go off to a different facility or something for
So
kids.
hers was a little more realistic.
Yes, I will say that. But what do you
Yeah.
think about Jackie's? And well, Mariah didn't get an exit. We don't see her.
I thought Jackie's was stupid. I thought they could have come up with something better for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it would have been. They could have easily just said, "I got to go to international to take care of some business stuff. They're having issues over there." You know, something. I felt like, excuse me, using the Sheila excuse was a stupid excuse. I don't know if they were doing it to try to cause issues or for her and Finn to like have some type of angst there, but I feel like it was unnecessary. And I don't know, because it didn't result in anything. She came back and they put her
Punched her in the face.
Right, she came back and punched her in the face.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just
Oh man.
it just didn't the whole series of events leading up to that, which started out with Finn hugging Sheila in jail, which
Mhm.
nobody really knows about that one, and then her hugging him again in court. And this is all after, like, if you go back and watch the old episodes of last year, and you hear how Finn talks about Sheila with such venom after, they bring him back, and he talks about how, she shot me, she shot my wife, blah, like, you hear the anger in his voice when he talks about her, and then out of nowhere, suddenly you guys have him hugging her.
Mommy.
Yeah, and it leads up to this whole thing of her leaving and going overseas because she doesn't know if she can trust Finn to stay away from Sheila or for Sheila to stay away from him. And it was just, the way they wrote that was just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
There were a million other ways they could have wrote her exit, her maternity exit.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that one. You are
And
absolutely.
this wildfire is just, I don't know which is worse, the wildfire or Felicia, Kristen, and Rick being on that safari.
Oh my God. Oh, we're gonna talk about that one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one in a minute, girl. That was that was so crazy to me. Okay. All right. Did we cover everything? Oh yeah. Can anybody answer this? Jenna said, yeah, that Cricket is leaving the DA office. That's what I said in my recap. I said first Chance is quitting being chief of police, and then Cricket is quitting the DA's office. So now what's she gonna do? Be up under Danny? I mean, what y'all doing?
Yep.
Girl. Mm-mm.
Yep.
So I guess the only law person in town is Michael. And I mean, he's not, he's an attorney, but it's like, okay, we had doctors. We don't even see Elena that much unless somebody gets sick. We had a police force. We had Paul and maybe Ronan or Chance, or now we ain't got nobody.
Mm-mm.
Do they really need one though?
Mm-mm.
Man, there's much crime to be happening in General City.
No, they have the Newman security team to take care of everything.
Oh my
Exactly.
God. Yeah.
Anytime something happens, Victor is calling his security team.
Yeah, the same security team that Cameron Kristen was able to get past all the time.
Keystone Cops.
That man had dug a hole up under Sharon's house. How do you not know that? How do you not know all the security that he got? How do you not know that somebody is digging up under one of the homes on your property? That man had made a whole tunnel to, who was that? One of the little girl Faith bedroom closet.
Yeah.
Came in through a vent. The house must be on pier and beam, but it's made out of,
Listen, there's two things that I question is how did Cameron get up all of the energy to be digging up under that house? I know it's pipes and roots and everything else up under there. And number two, how did Jordan get behind the vent in the wall?
I had said to myself in the Jordan case, I said, Trish, I bet you anything that if you move that big armoire, there's like a big person-sized vent there. And she's going to go into a crawl space, and her head, and I said this to my husband, I swear to you, her head, when they all leave that house, is going to pop up in that dadgum decorative vent up there. You watch, mark my words. When it happened, I had a drink in my mouth, and it came out my nose. We started laughing so hard. I called it. I should have texted y'all immediately and said, this is going to happen, watch. But I didn't. But I swear it happened. We laughed so hard. Yeah, it was really funny.
Listen, I know that I'm a little bit younger than Jordan. There's my knees, and I have all type of Charlie horses and everything, trying to get up in a vent. How'd she get in that vent? I mean, it looked like she was standing, because those vents are what? Horizontal or vertical?
I'm telling you, that air return went to a crawl space. I'm putting money on it. And as far as Kirsten Cameron crawling, digging a hole, I mean, he would have had to have had some kind of drill, a big human-sized drill. And where do you take? You'd have to take the dirt out. You can't just push forward.
Listen.
You have to carry the dirt out to keep it. Like there's engineering logistics to this.
Trish, and you mean to tell me with all the security team, what people thought that drilling was somebody's blender?
Not a peep.
A ninja blender or something? Oh yeah, somebody's making a smoothie. I hear something.
Yeah, yeah. I have one of those ninjas, and I can tell you they're actually pretty loud.
Yeah, I do too, and they're loud. Seriously. So, I
Give
mean,
your
there's.
viewers some credit. Just give us 1 ounce of credit.
That's what it was so funny when they said that Cameron Kirsten built a whole tunnel, and as somebody corrected me, it wasn't Faith's, it was Noah's bedroom closet.
Oh, he wasn't there, so they didn't hear it because the walls are 2 feet thick.
Girl, but you talking about under somebody's house?
I, mm-mm,
That man by himself, not
mm-mm.
a help, not a crew, him. He dug a tunnel all the way up under Sharon's house into that boy's bedroom. Right.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Oh, that was the laugh I need. That was hilarious.
It was really. I laughed out loud too during that one too. It was like, "That's how you're going to do this." Okay.
Oh, the writers, I'm telling you. Mm.
Unreal.
Unreal, exactly. Okay. So anyway, did we finally cover everything? Hey, I gotta say I did like Christine's hairstyle. It was kind of
Oh,
teenagerish.
yeah. She looked very. She did. She looked very. She looked like she had a pep in her step. Usually she's Debbie Downer.
Well, they changed. Maybe they ought to cut her hair like. Well, no, I'm not saying Laura Lee Bell cut her hair, but maybe she get a cut like like Hope. Make her look
I don't
different.
know if I would like Christine with short hair.
I
No.
don't know. Her face is a little rounder.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Let us move on. Oh, before we do, and I've already dropped this picture with my crew, but I'm gonna drop it over here too. Adam Newman next week has a new haircut and some facial hair.
Okay. Okay.
I am about to show it on the screen. Hold. Oh, there it is. New Adam. There it is. So, you guys in the chat, before we move on, what do you think about Adam Newman's new little look? I know we haven't seen him. We was hoping to see him during the whole Oregon storyline, but he was nowhere to be found because we wanted him to be the savior.
Meh.
I know you don't. But do you see the picture yet, Trish?
I'm going there now.
Okay. All right. What do you think about Adam Newman's new look? I mean, he got the edging done on the side, and he got a little bit of a goatee with the long sideburn attaching and a mustache going. Bridget says she like it. Bree said he is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix Rising got a bunch of hard eyes and hearts. What you think, Trish?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's just okay. You don't like it?
No, I'm like, that looks really good.
That haircut is fire on him.
Very, very chic.
I do like the haircut.
Very sexy.
Yeah, that haircut. Now I know Keish said he need a little bit more beard on him.
Yeah,
it's coming. It takes a little while for some people to grow
me a beard. Yep, I said as soon as that beard grows in a little more, I'll give him 2 thumbs up.
Ooh.
Right now he gets He gets 1 thumb.
Okay, so Jan Jan says hair yes, mustache no. Mary says I don't like it. CC says I loved it. He looked good. David said he looked like a detective. I kind of like this look on him.
1 out of 12.
I like a beard. I like a beard on any man. That is my favorite accessory for a man.
I
is a beard.
know.
I like it on a strong jawbone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I like a nice beard.
My voice just went down too hard.
Yeah, my voice just. I like rubbing his beard too. So from time to time.
Said, is this Adam sexier than Chance? He ain't there yet.
Oh. Now, some people, and I think y'all said this when we were talking earlier, that that mustache, maybe they're trying to have him look like Victor, a younger version of Victor. Remember, Victor had that dark mustache. That's why they call him the mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Zorro.
And somebody says Zorro.
It makes him look more mature for sure.
Definitely. Definitely. But that haircut just, I think the haircut actually make the beard a little bit.
Yeah, I do like his haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, his haircut is fire. Okay. I just wanted to show that. That's on Monday's episode, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned.
Thank you for sharing.
No problem. All right, so let's switch over to bold. Oh Lord, a lot of tears. Oh, too much emotions over there this week. Okay, so for the bold and the before we do that, make sure you hit that like button. I know my mods in the comment section are making sure that you guys hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Also, too, this has been in the works. I've had this conversation. I don't know. I might have had this conversation with you, Keish. I know I haven't said anything to Trish, and I think Bree and maybe Jay knows about it. The daytime Emmys are coming up on the 15th, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
On the 15th. So, that's a Friday. So we were thinking, or at least, I was wondering if you guys would be interested in doing like a live while we, hear who won and talk about it and all of that good stuff. Would you guys be interested in that?
Yeah.
So I would absolutely love to, but I'm going on an open bus tour and dinner with a huge group of professional women that I deal with on a regular basis, and it's been set for about 3 months now because we had to pay and reserve the bus. So I'm not going to be around next Friday, and now I'm like heartbroken because I would love that.
Next Friday is the 8th. I mean, wait a minute. No, that is next Friday. Today is the 8th.
Yeah.
Oh, time is flying.
So,
2 weeks to Christmas.
Y'all are going to have so much fun.
Well, have a good time.
I will have a good time, but I'm going to be checking my phone and checking in with y'all.
Yeah, let me see. What are they saying in the chat, you guys? Can you tell if they think like the idea?
Adam's looking good. Others over 100 in here.
So are they okay? Let me see. I'm gonna switch over.
Let's talk about the dresses.
Oh, okay.
J Money said, "Hell yeah."
Okay, cool.
Oh, Jenna, it's so hard to go through that.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Gee. Lord, yeah. This is it's tough. But yeah. So that's what we're thinking about doing. Is I got to figure out a way. I can't put it on the screen because it'll be a copyright infraction if we do it live on YouTube, but we can hear it play in the background, something like that. And then, I'll try to figure it out and see if maybe we can do a live we can talk about the dresses, how good everybody look.
Are they actually going to air it? Because I feel like
it's going to be on after. Paramount Plus, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll get the details on everything. If hopefully they do, Keish, put it on that day, but we'll see. But yeah, that look like that would be fun. So yeah, otherwise hit the like button, subscribe, recap, spoilers on TikTok, on Instagram, Threads, and X. So I thought about starting a Facebook group for you guys to go in there in a private group and chat, but Facebook get on my nerves sometimes. So I might hit them up in the messenger. I tend to like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube better. So yeah, Facebook can get kind of crazy. All right.
Yes.
What'd you say, Trish?
It's a hot
It's a
mess.
hot mess, exactly. All right, so for the week of the 4th through the 8th for Bold and Beautiful, Zende is crushed to learn that Eric is dying, and Eric comes to and refuses Donna's pleas to ditch the party. Thorne's told to rush home while Donna moves a declining Eric into the guest house. Thorne and Bridget break down, devastated. Eric is dying and told to join everyone in pretending all is well. Lee is suspicious of Finn when she finds him working, ignoring Steffi's text messages, and Eric's pretty much gives his approval on Hope and Thomas's relationship. And then the family sobs as Eric realizes Ridge lied about winning the fashion showdown, and then he collapsed. I don't know where to begin. It's just one big run-on storyline. You know what I mean? I mean, the fact that Bridget, I guess we can hit the whole thing with the family, the rest of the family being on a safari. Okay, go ahead. Who brought that up? Was it Keisha Trish?
I
I
think
think it
that
was Keisha.
Yeah, Keisha. What's your thoughts on that whole thing with the safari?
was. I just I find it hard to believe that even if they didn't bring back the original actors or the last actors that played those characters, that they couldn't have hired three new actors to play those roles just for this moment. And to use the excuse of they're unreachable, they're on a safari. Like, have they been on the safari for the last how many weeks has it been since Ridge found out?
I know, right?
Because initially he said that he called Kristen,
Right.
and she wasn't answering her phone or whatever.
And wait a minute,
So,
hey Keish, right quick. Zende
uh-huh,
isn't who's his mother? Kristen, right?
Kristen, yeah,
And I know he talked to his mama all the time. I mean, he didn't say anything about the mama being on the safari either.
yeah. So that was so stupid. That was a dumb excuse for the reason why they're not there. I would have accepted that they couldn't get their flight changed. They were coming, but because remember Eric changed the party and
Mm-hmm.
made it like that day or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would have accepted they were coming, but they couldn't get their flight changed to get here on time, so they won't be here for another, I don't know, however many days, and then bring in some actors that I don't know, they could have gotten cheap or something to fill those roles. But for them to just not be there at all, and that be the reason they're not there, is just, that was ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. I mean, and it questions me that whether or not Eric is actually going to pass away. I don't think it's going to happen, in my opinion, especially with Finn and Bridget and Doctor, whoever it is coming over from the Big Brother in the next week and a half or so, coming together to race that, because Finn is supposed to find something positive on his condition to fix it. Okay, that's coming
Yeah,
up in the week of next week. So it's like you took us down this emotional road. People getting triggered. I mean, we just had Jenna in the comment section talk about loss. It's like, ooh. And I mean, this has been dragging on for what? About a month and a
dragging.
half? What'd you say?
I said, yep, it has been dragging.
I mean, it's every day. A lot of people have been getting frustrated. Some people call it boring. Some people call it, it's pulling my heartstrings. It's I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this storyline. What do you got, Trish and Keish? What do you feel about this? I know how Keish feel about the story.
I just feel like I'm more of so my personality type with regard to these shows is I want the escape. So when it comes time to have the serious stories like the life and death stuff instead of the fashion and the travel and the remote shoots, it really does tug at your heartstrings, especially if you've had a lot of loss like a lot of us have, and it's just so I'm not a fan of this type of story. I still watch because I love the show and I don't want to not see it. But I did cry, and of course it brings back all the memories of my own experiences, and so yeah, it's not my favorite storylines, but they're doing a great job. I can't imagine keeping this from loved ones. I mean, I
Here's
guess
my.
I get it, but
Yeah, I mean, then they showing the deterioration, the coughing, the trembling, the oxygen mask, the blood on the in the tissues, and
yeah,
it's just it's so much, and the fact that it's dragging. It's not like it was 1 week, and then he ended up in the hospital, and they're trying to figure. They've been this whole thing has been going for the last month.
yeah. And I mean, there's been no announcement of an actual retirement, so I don't know if the signing of a new contract was true or not, but I don't think he's going to be going because the rumor is that Finn's going to come to the rescue.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and like you say, you want to watch because of the fact that it's an escape. I enjoy, I mean, not in my life, I tend to keep it pretty peaceful. I have fun, do different things, but you watch the soaps to get entertained.
I do.
And I'm even though it's convoluted with the whole Tucker storyline, just the fact that I'm trying to figure it out is just, it keeps me going, right? But this right here is just the emotional toll that, especially if it triggers people that just had loss and it's going on for so long,
Mm-hmm.
it can be draining.
Yeah. And you want to look forward to the show.
Right. Yep. So, and like I said, we already know what Keish thinks. Keish just wants this. I honestly, I hate to say it. I just want it to be. Let's move on. We put Poppy and that whole thing with Bill and Luna on the back burner. We ain't seen Liam. I know he was supposed to be sick sometime during filming about a month ago, so maybe that's why we don't see him now. But where was Taylor? Where was
Mm-hmm.
Paris?
Yeah, that was something I said too. I was like, what is happening? Why isn't she there?
Taylor at it. I
Yeah.
mean, I can understand. Paris was at the gala, but she couldn't come to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Luna was there,
Right.
but Paris can't be there. Where was she? And then
I guess
Taylor. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I guess for Paris, I could kind of understand because it would be different if she was dating someone, like if her and Zendaya were dating or something like that. Then I would be questioning where she is. But I mean, she's not dating anybody in the family. She's friends with them, but is she close enough to come to? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Taylor, I agree with you guys on. I hate that she's not involved in this at all. If for anything, to just be there as support for Steffy and Thomas.
Well, her contract was up officially today. If they have not renewed it, December 8th.
But I saw that they released. She has new pictures, new cast
Well,
pictures.
maybe she renewed her contract. I'm hoping that's the case.
I hope that's what it means.
Because here's the thing about how they could have utilized Taylor right now. She's a mental health counselor.
Exactly.
And and I know some people are like, oh, she's not a good therapist and all this stuff. The history happened in the past. Okay, fine, whatever. But right now, with grief counseling, her kids are struggling. If anybody needs the grief counseling out of this entire group, which they all do, she need to be there for her kids.
Right.
Thomas and Steffy. They got Brooke in there hugging up with them.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I know that's your daddy's girlfriend or fiance or whatever, but it ain't nothing like your mama.
Right.
And especially because, what'd you say, Keish?
I said, especially when they don't get along.
Yeah. Somebody was like, Jenna said, where was Bill?
At the gala? Bill wouldn't be invited to that.
I'm
or just in general.
probably at the party. I
Yeah,
don't
I couldn't
know.
imagine them inviting Bill to that.
Yeah, I mean, like, and Liam wasn't there either. I'm surprised, but
I
I
wouldn't imagine that he
guess.
would be there either.
Mm,
Not
yeah,
with the way him and Hope are.
it's
They
strange.
pretty much not getting along right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But out of anybody, Taylor should have been there.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody. She's family.
Yep.
That part didn't make sense. It's just I don't like this storyline. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm assuming that the diagnosis is cancer because I don't know if you caught Brooke saying this to Bridget that they have seen. He talked to all of the oncologists, other oncologists before, and an oncologist is a cancer doctor.
Yeah, I guess I just assumed that meant it's not cancer and they just can't figure out what it is. Because why is it if it's cancer, then wouldn't they have an idea of what path to go down to try to get treatment or if it can be treated? Because the way it sounds like is when Steffy and Finn were talking in his office last week, it sounded like they were still trying to figure out exactly what was going on with him. So that's confusing too.
Yeah, well, she kind of let it slip when Bridget was like, "Is there anything we can do?" And Brooke was like, "Well, he's seen all of the best oncologists. So why are you seeing oncologists unless you think that there is some form of cancer?" So
No, that's what I'm saying.
right,
Like
I'm right.
if they've gone to the oncologist and the oncologists are not calling it cancer or not saying that it's cancer and that they don't know what it is, then I don't know.
I think they botched up that part of it too. Why would you bring in Dr. Colby, as handsome as he is? Why would you bring in Dr. Colby and he's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, we don't know. We're trying to figure it out. He's giving prognosis. You got 6 months to live, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
None of that part of the storyline makes sense. When you already had at least Bridget wasn't there yet, but you had Lee and Fan. And I understand the whole thing about, oh, well, maybe they didn't want them to know or whatever, but y'all still end up roping Finn into this anyway.
Yeah, after Steffi found out.
Right. So. All right. Now, the other part of this is the fact of keeping this secret from Eric that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Keish.
It's simplest. Like, why? Literally, the only reason why they're keeping it from Eric is because Eric doesn't want to be treated differently. But it's just selfish. The whole thing is just selfish. You are, first of all, Zende has lost time with his grandfather that he could have been, focused on spending with him after. Not that should be the only reason why you're doing it, but when you find out that kind of information, you really make it a point. You know what I mean? You make it a point to ensure that you're spending as much time with the individual. Sorry.
It's okay.
As you can. But I don't know. I think I said this a couple of podcasts ago that him not telling his family is we're missing out on those scenes where like what we had with Stephanie, where she spent specific time with Steffi and Taylor and Brooke, which was stupid.
Right.
The woman that she hated her entire life.
Yep.
But she had these individual moments with him, which I think they tried to do today at this gala, but it's not the same. Because now it's all happening at once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
cobbled together at the last minute.
Yeah, and you have other people like intrigued on some of those moments. like when Steffy was hugging Eric, and here come Brooke. Can I get in on that hug too?
No, go away. It's my turn. Well,
Right.
and what about whenever he was talking to RJ and to Zende? It's Luna. Luna. So happy. It's Luna. I'm like, oh my God, really? Come on, man.
Wow, you're so funny.
Well, we're supposed to be so attached to this brand new character. Come on.
I mean, here's what gets me also too is that they kept the secret about winning the gala.
Mm-hmm.
Donna didn't know. Now, a lot of people thought that she did know and was keeping the secret, but obviously she didn't. She confronted the rest of them in the corner. I'm like, out of all the times you want to talk about this, you want to talk about that now?
And loudly.
And loudly. Thomas was the one that started the conversation. And then it comes out, Eric's like, you lied to me. Oh, that's the best thing you could have ever done. I'm like, okay, so they didn't even need to keep that a secret. They could have just told him.
Well, and what got me was when he asked the question, I won, didn't I? Why didn't they just say yes? Of course you did.
Yeah.
If you were going to lie in the first place.
Right. I understand why that's so difficult.
Yeah, just dead silence, nothing. And then I will say that actually, when Eric started looking around the room, I took that as a sign that as he looked around the room, he was seeing that yes, they knew, and now they know that he knows that they know.
That's what I thought too.
God, I said it right. Okay, good. Thank you. I thought that's what it was. Okay, so yes, that's what I saw. And then when he looked at Ridge and said what he said, if it had not been for looking at everybody around the room and saying that, and if he had said that before he'd looked around the room, I would have thought, what? But when he looked around the room and all that was happening and you could see the emotion everywhere, it made sense that he would say that that's the kindest thing anybody could have done.
And then he collapsed.
Oh my God. How can you not tell that these people don't know that what's going on with him? Mm-hmm. Like everybody is looking at him with
sad faces. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
If he didn't know before the conversation with Steffi, he knew after.
Right.
Yeah, I can't. This is, and they said the ratings have been the lowest in, 20 months or something?
I wonder why.
It makes me sad because, if you're going to give Eric screen time, make fans really will relish in and celebrate all these decades he's been on the show. Not something that makes us go, man, this is ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah, he deserves better than this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Yeah.
One of the things that really annoyed me was them telling Thorne and Bridget, an hour or two before the party starts.
Yeah, suck it up.
And then telling them, and then basically telling them, well, you got to cry here and get it all out now because Dad can't know that you know. And it's like, you just told me that my father is passing away, is deteriorating, that I'm not going to have him for much longer. And you expect me to go to this party and pretend like I don't know this? Right. And you're going to talk to me as if it's just that simple to just bury that information.
Total condescension.
Yeah, I felt like Ridge was being a total jerk about that.
Yeah. What did y'all think about Eric supporting Thomas and Hope, saying your romance is not a scandal?
I loved it, but I never really expected Eric to be negative about it. To me, he's always come off as whatever makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because during his life, it was whatever made him happy, right?
Right. Yeah.
Trish.
So I wasn't really surprised about it.
Yeah, I mean, because, everybody else, well, I don't know about everybody else, but at least her mama got a problem with it.
Pretty much everybody else does, other than Ridge.
So, you think Katie and Donna got issues with it too?
Yeah, because so I don't think they were going to be as vocal as Brooke,
Mm-hmm.
but they were all at the birthday party
Oh
talking
yeah,
about the
that's
two of them.
right.
Yeah, so they're going to follow whatever Brooke wants.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So yeah, I think Eric is the first one to just outright say, if you guys make each other happy, then then you should be together. I think Ridge just kind of backed off and was just like, they're gonna do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm alone.
Okay, so we could do a tacky poll real quick.
Okay.
So the tacky poll is, if Eric does go, who gets the house? Who gets his shares?
It ain't Donna.
Bear in mind, he's not
Yeah,
married.
I can say it ain't Donna.
Mm-mm.
Well, she
I think
ain't
he'll.
married to him unless he threw her somewhere a piece in the will.
I think he will absolutely put her in the will for something. I think even if he tried to leave Donna the house, I don't think Donna would keep it. I think she would give it to Ridge and Brooke.
So let me ask a question right quick. She moved him to the guest house. Was that because he couldn't get up the stairs?
Yes.
That's what she said. And I'm like,
Mm.
that big mansion don't have a bedroom downstairs.
Right.
I mean, some of those big mansions have elevators, so.
Right. That part I when I guest house. You gonna take that man all the way outside across somewhere?
A cobble walkway, mind you. That's like
Exactly.
a big cobble driveway.
That's another thing that did not make sense to me. I'm like, to make it easier, I'm gonna move you into the guest house, which is outside of the big house. Um, like Keish said, most of those houses got like 35 bedrooms. It's got to be a bedroom
Yep.
on that main floor somewhere.
Even more than one, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because,
that didn't make sense to me.
no.
Mm-mm. So yeah, it's a lot of holes in this thing. Yeah, they need to hurry up and get this over with. Maybe this is going to be some type of Christmas miracle or something. I don't know. That means we got 2 more weeks of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that third doctor, somebody dropped it in the comments section. That's coming on from Big Brother. Um,
Yeah.
I know somebody wrote it. I missed it. She's not going to even be on there till the 20th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you talking another week, 2 weeks before any of this, and then of course the following week is Christmas. Wait a minute, 17th through the 21st. Yep, and then the following week is Christmas. So this might be some Christmas miracle story. And then what does that mean for Eric? Does he say he gets well and they send him to a hospital overseas or something? Who knows?
He goes and visits his brother.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
His
Down in
brother lives in
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
He goes on to Australia. He retires. Does whatever he's going to do. That's going to be the good part of the story. Is if Eric is going away, whether they have him pass away or he retires and moves out of the country, goes and lives near his brother or whatever, is what he's going to do with his shares.
Yeah. I mean,
I honestly don't think that he is going to leave Donna that house, because that house was his kid's childhood home. I can't imagine that he would give it to someone outside of his family.
girl, you never know. The Logans can get.
I know.
So you want to know what I hope? I hope Thomas gets the house.
I would love it. I would love it if he gave that house to Thomas and Douglas.
Totally.
And if whoever gets that house after Eric leaves, please remodel, because I'm tired of that.
Wait a minute, hold on. You don't think that his kids, Kristen and Thorne and Ridge and all of them, wouldn't split whatever comes to that from the house, or what? Do you think they just
depends on how he writes the will? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Oftentimes it's either the oldest son, the oldest child, or the oldest grandchild. I've seen it happen a lot of different ways.
Okay.
Yeah, Thomas is the oldest grandchild, isn't he?
Thomas is, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I
So who
mean,
knows?
and then he got some shares that is part of Forrester, right?
Eric has
Thomas.
37.5%. Thomas has 5 that Ridge gave him.
So where does his set of shares go?
I don't know. Depends on what the will says.
Yeah, that'll be the other big
See,
thing.
with his shares, if he doesn't make sure that his kids have shares, to me, that would be like, wow, man, just because they're not here, they're not, because they were all at one time part of that family business.
Right.
Yeah. I remember Zende saying when he got in that argument with Ridge and RJ, he said something about how Kristen, just because my mom didn't want to be a part of the business, or I don't know, something like that, which almost indicated to me that she didn't want anything to do with Forrester Creations anymore. So I wonder if maybe they wouldn't even care about having the shares. I don't know. To me, it would be weird to not include Rick, because Rick had always been a part of Forrester, and I think
Bridget too.
Isn't Rick supposed to be like at Forrester International right now or something like that?
Yeah. Okay. So was he part of the Safari too? Why
Yes.
didn't Rick come?
Yeah,
Rick was going with them too,
Safari.
huh? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It was a family trip.
Yeah. But I think Rick is supposed to be working at Forrester International right now,
Right.
so he's still part of the company. So it would be odd to me if they don't even mention anything about Rick getting any shares.
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna be interesting. First, because if they save his life, like it looks like Finn is gonna come up with some, slither of hope. Then, like you say, all he's gonna do is go retire, and they'll put him on recurring, if that, right? Recurring status.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go back to these other storylines. Thank gosh. But then there would be no discussion of a will right now if he's saved. Right. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Not necessarily a will, but if he decides to retire.
Well, if he retired, then they would discuss where the business go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but not the house and stuff.
Well, if he retires and moves away, which I feel like if they don't have him pass away, I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like it'll be like when Sally left. They would still mention Sally every once in a while. Mm-hmm. She was always on some trip somewhere or traveling somewhere. They would just talk about her, but she was never on screen. I feel like it's going to possibly be the same with him. Where he moves away to Australia or travels or does whatever because maybe this little medical scare, life is too short. So I want to go travel and see the world while I still have time.
Well, take Donna with you.
I was going to say, is Donna going?
Take Donna with you. Because, why would she need to stay here? Her only story, her sister, yeah, but outside of her sisters, her biggest storyline is Eric.
Yeah.
Right.
So if Eric go off into the sunset, so does Donna.
Yeah. So if he does something like that, then that would be a reason for somebody to move into his house or to get his house. And
girl, could you imagine who you think should move into that house? Well, Ridge, does he have a place to stay yet? Is he staying with Brooke?
Isn't he living with, yeah.
Okay,
maybe he goes back and forth between Brooke and Eric's house.
So then technically, but then you think Brooke would want to move in with with Ridge?
I think it's possible that Ridge and Brooke move into that house and maybe they give Hope Brooke's house so she moves out of that little dingy cabin.
Wait a minute, there's been rumors that she might move in with Thomas.
I would prefer that because I like Thomas's house.
Yeah.
And Douglas is there, and only problem with that is Liam have to come over there to get his baby girl.
They can find a neutral meeting spot.
Yep.
Could you imagine? See, Liam have a tendency to walk in people's houses just like everybody else without knocking, and then be talking about, "Oops, I'm sorry."
I don't know that he would walk into Thomas's house.
He's pretty entitled. He
Yeah,
might.
he might.
Brooke
He
did.
walked in Steffi's house, and Finn looking like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, that was out
You
of
know,
pocket.
that was hilarious. Finn was
Listen,
like, "You don't just walk up in here."
is different. Yeah, that's true. Different than walking into Thomas's house, though. Him and Thomas have no
You
relationship at all.
listen, girl. You know, Liam would be like, "Well, my daughter stays here,"
You're probably right.
because he said the same thing. My daughter lives here. When he was talking to Finn, I'm like, "Okay, and that don't give you the right to walk up in his house, walk up in that house."
That was Steffi's fault because she gave his ass a key.
Exactly.
But Liam should have been smart
Listen,
enough.
wait a minute, Keish. I hardly ever hear you cuss.
I'm sorry.
No, it's hilarious when you do it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Liam should have had enough sense to know, which I think he did that crap on purpose because he knew it was gonna piss off Finn.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew Steffi wasn't there, so he had no business using that key.
That's right.
He knew Steffi nor Kelly were there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, sheesh. That's crazy.
I just want to
All
see
right.
them fight one good time.
What'd you say?
I want to see Finn and Liam fight one good time.
Wait a minute. Bree says, does Quinn still have his power of attorney?
No, Ridge does now.
Oh, okay. Well, that answers your question, Bree. Ridge has it now.
Yeah, Carter talked about, or Carter brought him those power return papers a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, Melissa answered it too in the comments section. He just gave his power of attorney to Ridge and put Ridge in charge of his estate. Well,
There we go.
there you go. So Ridge probably gets it. Mm-hmm. Wow. But yeah, they need to hurry up and do. I know that they've already pre-recorded these episodes a month or so ago, but can we get the storyline over with? I'm over it. I'm sorry. It's just too. It's just too much. It's too draining for me.
Yep.
Yeah. But they finally told Zendaya this week.
Yes,
That
they
was
did.
Monday, right?
I was glad about that.
His reaction was the first reaction that made me tear up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did his thing in that scene, and then when they told Bridget, her reaction also was
Right.
very realistic.
Yep, that's
And
the
it was
two
also
pictures that I have on the screen with Bridget up top and Zendaya in the second box below. It shows that pure emotion.
yeah, they did really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they were all, you know what? Why didn't they have that dang on gala in that media room at Forster Creations where they were all standing at before they went to Eric's?
You know what? That's a good question because I thought that was actually the plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Girl, they keep changing something. It's like, again, convoluted. And I gotta agree with Brie on this. The best part of this whole thing was dresses. The dresses were gorgeous.
I thought so too.
They was alright.
You funny.
I didn't care for Brooke's dress. I didn't like the little furry thingies at the bottom of her dress.
Okay, I did make a comment about that to my husband. I was like, that it looks like somebody just like dropped a feather duster or something, and there was
Oh my gosh.
somehow got stuck to the sequence.
And I didn't like the little.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I didn't like the little those little sequin accents that were on the waist of Katie's dress. I thought her dress looked just as pretty without that. I thought Donna's dress was too plain.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Hope's dress wasn't. I mean, it wasn't ugly, but it wasn't. She didn't. To me, she didn't feel dressed up enough.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just like had a summer dress on.
Wait a minute. Melissa says that Eric is supposed to be home at Christmas. There are photos that were leaked. I need to find them.
I did think Luna looked really good though, and I loved what Zendaya had on.
Oh, wow.
You loved what who had on?
Zendaya, that white.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks nice on him. Yeah.
It was a good cut.
Thomas's jacket was what do you call it?
Velvet.
Yeah.
Yep. They all looked really nice, but you said they were. Some of them was like, eh. Bree says Steffi just wore another 304 dress from her closet. Oh, Lord.
Bree just don't like Steffi. There wasn't nothing wrong with Steffi's dress. Yeah. I didn't particularly care for Steffi's hair, but I liked her dress.
She had a little, what is that, like a little tiara or something on her head or something?
Yeah,
it was like a Grecian style headband with the gold leaf thing. I thought it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like the hair though. I wish they would have like done I don't know, like a braid or something. Kind of like how hair was braided.
Brooke's hair was done, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did she have extensions in today, Brooke?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it was so long. I just don't, maybe it's grown that much.
Oh, I think no idea.
Extensions.
You think so? Oh, okay. I don't know.
But look great.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Did we cover everything this week? It was a ball of raw emotion most of the week. One storyline, nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What about Lee barging in on Finn twice, telling him to get to the party? That was kind of nuts. She's in everybody's business.
And she sure is, and especially her son. She told him to stop what you're doing, put that down, and get the French toast out of here. And he was like, I ain't going nowhere.
You don't know what I'm doing?
Right, I'm trying to help this man out, and you trying to tell me to do something else. But Steffi was texting him, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Steffi must not know what he's doing either.
He probably didn't want to give her false hope.
Now, I wonder what Liam, if he figure out a way to save her grandfather, Liam ain't got nothing to stand on.
No.
Liam just gonna have to try harder at his whatever little shenanigans he got playing.
Yeah, because, I mean, if Steffi decided to go chase after Liam after taking a bullet, going through the paternity test situation, and now you saved that girl grandfather and you finna go run off with little puke, yeah, okay.
Bree said, she said, I love Steffi, but let's be honest, Miss CEO miniskirt gives 304 couture every episode.
Oh, Lord.
I like the way Steffi dresses.
She's funny.
Actually, there's some things that they have put on her that I felt like have aged her because it looks, to me, it looks like something an older woman should wear.
Yeah, well. Oh, here we go. That's to trigger a whole nother conversation. Yeah, so I'm looking at the comment section behind that comment. Yeah, but Lee.
Wait, hold on. The amount of men that Steffi has been with does not constitute her being a 304.
We're not going to go down that. The wrong podcast.
On screen.
Wrong podcast.
People make it sound like she has just, I don't know.
All right. Oh, yeah, Bridget, she says Finn still don't know about those kisses. Nope, we forgot. Dang. It's been July. Yeah, since those kisses happened. Hopefully, once this whole thing comes to a close with this storyline, we'll get back to the Poppy and Finn thing. Poppy and Bill and Luna situation. Sheila Carter and Deacon. We haven't seen them in a while. And then what else? Oh, Liam still trying to be the villain or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I saw somebody posted a little excerpt from a
uh-oh.
I forget what magazine or online magazine it was from. It was an interview that
Mm-hmm.
Scott did, and he full on said it was something to the extent of Thomas. He had always been jealous of Matt Atkinson because he was able to play like the villainy type role, and that was always something that he wanted to do. And he was like, "Now I'm getting my chance to do that."
Ooh,
Cool.
that's gonna be good then.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, we just got to get through these next 2 weeks.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So, I don't even really. Let me look at the spoilers for next week. I don't even think that there's any sidetrack spoilers. I mean spoilers storylines for next week. It's all about. Yep. Yeah, it's all about trying to help Eric for the whole week.
Wow.
So,
Mm.
well, we shall see. All right, did we cover everything? I
I
think we
think
did.
so.
Okie dokie. All right, so let us get to our favorite segments, our flip the script and who's taking several seats. So if you are new here, our flip the script segment is if there's a particular scene or storyline you wish you could change, that's where you flip the script. And then somebody got on your nerves, they were doing too much, they need to go take several seats. All right, so with the flip the script for the young and the restless, what y'all got? Who going to go first?
Go ahead, Keish.
Mine would be Lily and Devon not going to the Newmans,
Mm,
asking their opinion about their cousin.
I agree with that one. I've been singing that all week. All right, what you got, Trish?
Mine would be that Kyle lets Jack in on what's happening with
Okay.
his part.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. My flip the script would have been Nate not even I don't even understand why Nate even had a conversation with Audra when you were trying to figure it out with your family and even considered a job opportunity in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yep.
Um and then you didn't even know what it was for. She was like, you want to get on the opportunity? Yeah, and then when you find out it's Tucker and all them, then you want to get mad. Don't nobody go. Ain't no way you gonna say, "Hey, come over here. I got an opportunity for you." Okay, let's go. What's the opportunity? Give me the details.
Yep.
So I wouldn't have had Nate talk to anyone. Look, I'm trying to get back in good graces with my family. I'm not trying to hear
Exactly.
anything you got anything to say to me about nothing. That would have been my flip. All right, what do you have for bold?
Excuse me. Um, they just would have let Eric know that we all know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that one, and I think I would also. I, where's Pam and Charlie?
Ooh. Yeah.
Why weren't they called? Because I mean, that's her brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had them at least. They could have
Yeah.
given some kind of relief to the party.
Yeah, you're right. That's all. That's the aunt. She's the auntie to a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Rich didn't even want to tell his own kids.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't going to tell Pam.
We haven't seen Pam. Charlie and cheated with a kiss with Esther last time we
Right?
see. I don't know where Pam is at.
Yeah, is it the actress that plays her?
Allie Mills?
Is she on another show now?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
That's what I heard. She's on I forget which show, but
Oh,
another
okay.
show
Oh,
in one of the other networks.
oh, so she got another project then.
Good for her making her money.
I know, right?
Yep.
My flip the script is Taylor should have been there.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way out of anybody. I mean, okay, the other folks on Safari, but y'all can get access to Taylor. Taylor ain't on Safari. Call Tay
Mm-hmm.
Tay, let her know what's going on. What didn't she date Eric at one point?
Yep.
Yeah, they dated for a little bit.
She knows him intimately. She was friends with his wife. She's the mother to your grandchildren. Why was she not there? That I don't get that part. That didn't make. I know she's probably sporadically doing things, but you could have brought her in for a couple of scenes, one or two,
You would think.
something. Bring her to the party. And earlier this week, or last week, when Thomas and Steffy found out, bring her in for that, and bring her in for that party.
Yeah.
That's it. But hey, I don't write the paycheck, so. All right, and then who's taking some seats on The Young and the Restless?
Devon.
Okay.
Phyllis too.
Devon and Phyllis. What you got, Trish?
You know, that's a hard one actually this week. I think, I guess really Jordan. I mean,
Oh, not on Jordan.
huh?
I said not on Jordan.
Oh no, Auntie Jordan needs to take a seat. Yeah, she's nuts, man. She needs to definitely take a seat, grab a Valium, settle down.
Oh, the one said Allie Mills is Heather Weber on General Hospital.
Oh, okay, I don't watch that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry, I just want to throw that out there.
Oh no, it's your turn.
Okay. I was gonna tell you know what, Trisha. I think Jordan should take a seat. Be like, stop it. Get some help.
Please.
Well, and here's the reason why.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here's the reason why I say that. And Bree, I gotta read a comment that Bree put out about that situation, and it's so freaking interesting. Where she said, "Hold on." Where did she wrote that? Bree, I know you put it in the comments. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna find it. Let me see. Man, we've had so much going on. Okay, she pretty much made a comment that Aunt Jordan was done doing all this stuff over the fact. And Bree, drop it in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I think that was in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for it.
She basically said she's doing all this over her sister being dumped by Victor or something like that.
Oh yeah, okay. I see Jordan crazy as like almost dumb crazy. Oh no, that wasn't the right one. Oh man. I should have said I thought it was a really good comment she had. Oh man, but it was something like that. That Jordan is doing all of this because her sister couldn't get with Victor.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's like your sister been gone how long now? About 20 years?
Well, if Claire's 28.
Claire's 25.
Oh, 5, okay.
Yeah, according to that whole situation when Victoria lost the baby was in 1998. So, yeah, she's 25. So, the mama been gone for a while, and she's still holding this resentment on the fact that Eve couldn't get with Victor. And like I said in my hot early spoilers, that man that had 14 marriages and married to Nikki 3 times. Even if she did get one, I can guarantee you they would have got a divorce. It wouldn't have lasted because Victor kept moving on. So I don't know why she thinks she was going to be the golden person that Victor was going to marry and stay with.
Right. Because her sister was different.
Right. Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that whole thing was crazy to me. Let's see. Okay. Um. Okay, we was on. Did I do? We were doing seats, right? I said Jordan. What
Yeah.
do you got for bold for the seats?
Mine would be Ridge
Mm-hmm.
because he's being such a jerk about um people, the way he wants people to handle this news about Eric. I think he's being insensitive.
I mean, I might get yelled at, but I think Eric needs to take a seat.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh well.
This is all his fault. All of this crap, all of this drama is all
Mm-hmm.
Eric
Yep.
because he wants to be selfish
And not share what's
Yes.
going on with him with his family.
and still got the nerve to try to gloat about winning that fashion challenge.
I mean, who cares? It was some dresses. Like, you're dying. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, um, you do your take a seat already, Keish?
Yeah, I went first.
Okay, Trish, you just did yours, right?
Yep, Eric.
Okay, so me, I would say Ridge. Yep, Ridge, take a seat. Mm-hmm. So, all right, man, we got it all in there. I was wondering how we were going to do bold because it was all, I mean, we piecemealed it, so that was pretty good, but that was a big ball of emotion all week. And like I said, that storyline is absolutely draining.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotionally draining, especially if you know a person has been on no matter what the condition was, because there's a lot of situations out there. To
Mm-hmm.
see this unfold like this, it's triggering for some
It
people,
is.
you know, and they're dragging it out too long. That's the problem. I mean, if you wanted to make this a Chris, I know they trying to. Maybe they tried to tie in November sweeps with a Christmas miracle, which it will encompass the month of November and December, I guess. So I don't know. So
I
anywho,
suppose.
what'd you say?
Said I suppose.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we did it, girls. And so next week you won't be here.
Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the great stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna check into it and see exactly, like you say, Keish. Maybe I'm hoping that's what I heard, December 15th. But if they don't air it that night, then we'll have to figure out something. We'll just do our normal weekly stuff. Are you here next week?
Yeah, I'll be
Okay,
here.
okay, okay, cool. All right, and then I guess Bree or Jay, if y'all want to cover for Trish, let me know. Let me
And
know.
you'll have a great time.
Yep, we will. We will. We'll miss you though.
I'll miss y'all too.
As always.
As always. All right, you
Love you
guys.
guys.
Stay tuned for the full spoilers for the week of the 11th through the 15th and all of the recaps and the other fun stuff. And like I say, all platforms except Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Twitter, which is now X. And then make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And until the next one, we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.